Hi everyone, it's Cheryl, and I thought today that I would share with you I'm going to do my art journal page for the group Mission Inspiration over on Facebook. As a lot of you know, I'm a member of that, and I'm going to try to keep up this year. Last year I got so far behind with everything that was going on in the night shift, but now that I'm not doing that anymore, I am all about completing this one this year. So I have the month's mission here in front of me, and that is add natural fibers, string, jute, or burlap. And for mine, I have a piece of burlap. Fragments of food labels. Well, I have this hibiscus tea that I drink, and so we're going to use that. Texture paste or paint with a stencil. I can't talk. So I'm going to be using this small doily stencil. And it's a bugger to do with paint, so I hope it works out. Stamp with white ink or paint, which I haven't gotten out, but I do have white ink, so I'm going to be using that. And then it's one or more die cuts. Well, I don't have any die cuts that are like tea related, so I cut this out of a piece of scrapbook paper. Sometimes you gotta kind of go off the mission thing. I'm sorry my camera keeps blurring. I think it's this white paper. Maybe it's just the camera. I'm going to try adding a little more light right now because I'm getting shadow. And it kind of bleaches it out. I'll just leave it with the overhead light. I gotta get new lights. I keep saying that. I'm in a different craft room now. I moved it, so. Okay, border with book text or washi tape. And since for this year I chose a round journal page, this could be a little problem, but we'll make it work. Gesso mixed with color. Since I didn't want you to have to watch me gesso, because most of you are familiar with gesso and stuff, so I mixed my two colors with the gesso and spread them on here and dried them before I started, so we wouldn't have to go through that step. Handwritten quote, text, or phrase, and I went and printed mine out, but I can write it in with my hand, do handwriting, that's okay. The colors for this month were rose, sunflower, and spring green. Well, there's plenty of rose pink on the tea label, so I didn't incorporate that into my background. And I didn't have sunflower, but I did have crocus yellow, so I used that. And I didn't have spring green, but I used parakeet. It's kind of a springy green. So that's, and then the words for this month are bloom, spring, growth, botanical, and heart. So, I'm sorry this thing keeps blurring. I don't know what its problem is today. Sorry. We'll try not to do that again. So I'm going to go get my white paper really quick and my stamp I want to use, and I will be right back over there to get this going. And of course now I can't find the stamp I'm looking for. I just have it. There we go. This is little, I believe it's a Hampton Arts set that I picked up a year or so ago. And I just need my white ink. It should be right here. There we go. And this is just the Craftsmart cheap brand at Michael's white ink, so I'm hoping it dries. I will be using the dryer also on this so we can keep it moving along. I have to go to work at 2:30. I am so sick of snow. We've got snow piled up so big out there. I'm sick and tired of it. I don't want to see it anymore. We're going to get another storm Saturday. We're supposed to be getting stuff tonight into tomorrow. I am sick of this. I mean, it's crazy. I drove home the other night, some of the worst weather imaginable. But that's not getting my art journal done. So the first thing I'm going to do is, it says to add texture with paint or texture paste, and the only texture paste I have right now is some Martha Stewart Sparkle, and I won't be using that. So I will be using some paint, which I just got too much of. I have a bunch of old paint. I need to use it up. I need to stop going, oh, I might need it for something else, and hoarding it and all that. I need to get it used up because it's starting to get lumpy. So I'm going to hope this stencil deal works out okay. So I'm just going to put the stencil right in the middle to start. And if you don't pounce too hard with it, it seems to go okay. I don't care if I get a lot of the stencil or if I just get a little bit of the stencil. Just so there's the idea that there's a doily here, and I'm going to be using parts of it on other parts of my page. Now the biggest problem with the 8-inch circle I chose is it's just not big enough. But I chose it, and see, I don't have a really good imprint, but I keep sticking my finger in the paint. I'm using the sponge and I keep, yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to stencil this on randomly because most of it's probably going to be covered up anyway, but it is part of the challenge, the mission, so now it didn't hardly show up at all. And I think we'll put a little bit up here. This is going to be another mess today. I was supposed to work Friday, but I switched with my, well, she's my supervisor. They call them program managers now, but basically it's just supervisor. She needed to go somewhere this weekend, so I switched with her. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to know that at 10:30 I get to get in my car, come home, and go to sleep instead of that overnight stuff. I think this is probably maybe just a little bit more. I don't know. I have an idea for this, but it might take on a life of its own and do its own thing, so we'll just let whatever happens happen. So we're just going to put on a little more of the stencil here. Maybe, yeah, I didn't even hardly get any. And it's really hard to see the white on this yellow and green anyway, so thinking I'm not going to have much luck with the ink either, but just a few little spots of it here and there. Just to say, there, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that didn't go exactly as planned, but hey, that's art. Boy, I don't know. I think that overhead light, I don't know how that's going. I can't zoom in any farther. I have got to get a new, I gotta reconfigure my camera here too. Okay, so I'm going to just try this real quick. The paint layer is very thin, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay, that should do it for that. I like to check these off as I go because otherwise I forget to do something. So I have, so far, done the gesso mixed with paint. And I have done the texture paste or paint through a stencil. This mission inspiration is really addicting because whether you're really good at this or you're not so good at it, it doesn't really matter. It's art, it's yours, it's what you want to do, how you want to make it. You know, there's no right or no wrong. That's the good part. And if something doesn't work out exactly like you wanted it, well, chalk it up to experience and move on. Oh, I got paint everywhere. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is start gluing down my focal points. And I chose a piece of burlap, which probably will come back and bite me in the tush a little later, because it's so thick and bulky, but I'm going to try to get it put down. I'm using it. Before I do any more inking, I'm going to try to use the Tombow glue here, but I don't know. I guess I never used the big end. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. And I may have to pause the video for some drying time. I'm not seeing anything come out of there. I've had this glue for a while, so I'm not real familiar with it. I mean, I've used it a couple of times. I like it. We'll see what we can do with having it come out the smaller end. We'll just layer it on thick and close together. I want to get the edges so that my burlap stops fraying. I let them fray because I want it to look kind of like a placemat. And I thought the frayed edges would be cute. That's why I did that. So I'm just going to put this glue on here, hope it sticks, probably take a little break and come back because I'm not expecting this to dry real quick and I don't want to run the heat gun while I am doing that. Waiting for it. I don't want to dry it with the heat gun. I don't want to have you sit and listen to it. So I want to place that right about there. And we'll see. Hopefully this glue will do the trick. There we go, we got it down. Let's put the lid back on. I really do like this glue, I really do. So, yeah, there we go. And it seems to be soaking into the burlap, but it also seems to be sticking to the page, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to pause it right here, and I will be back in a little while when that's dry. See you in a minute. Hi everyone, I'm back. I've decided that this has probably dried enough that I can proceed with it. And I see I've got it on there crooked. Oh well. It is what it is. So, the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this little script stamp. Like I said, I believe this is a Hampton Art set. Possibly done for Graphic 45. I don't know. And let me get the print the right way up. It's so hard to see things. Planning on having surgery this summer. I don't want to. Because honestly, it terrifies me. This ink is old, so I don't know how good it is. Oh, I guess I've got some ink in there. And I mean, white on this background probably isn't going to show up a lot, but we're going to stamp it anyway. And I mean, I can't even see this, so not sure this was the greatest idea, but we're going to... It's the mission, and the thing is to complete the mission. I'm going to know what's on there. You probably can't even see it. I don't know if it'll even stamp on burlap. Let's see. Nope. I have a little white mark. So I'm just going to randomly stamp this all over the page. Different spots. Try to get it to show up. Because I think my ink pad may be getting dry too. It's been around a while. Do I want any more? Maybe just one there. Like I said, you're not going to be able to see this. I opened the window shades hoping that natural light would be better. I'm going to throw a little of that on it. I don't know. It's cloudy today. It's not one of our days where the sun is out bright, like awesomely bright. But you know it's cold because it's below zero, so it's kind of like false advertising. That's what I call it. There's nothing, honestly, like being in below zero weather with a 35 below wind chill and seeing bright sunshine, because it is so misleading. You want to believe that it's going to, you know... I probably should have put this down before I put my... burlap down, but I didn't, so I wasn't thinking, because right now all I've got in my mind is this coming winter storm. Where I work, if you can't find your own coverage, you are expected to be there. Well, since I traded for Friday to have tomorrow off, I know that Saturday morning at 6 a.m. this storm is supposed to start. I have a 20-mile commute and I am sick of driving in this stuff. The other night it was ground blizzard. I can't find a cord to my dash cam for my car, so I was going to take you all along on a ride one of these times. Those of you who don't live where you have this kind of extreme weather, I was going to take you along for a ride and just show you what it's like driving through a good old South Dakota ground blizzard, but I can't find the cord. It's probably in my other car. I bought an SUV in October. I really didn't need to spend the money, but driving in this, my car is a little two-door, it's very light. I love my car more than anything in the world, but it's just not good on this snow. And so I bought this SUV. I like it, I really like it. It's another Kia. I won't drive anything but a Kia anymore. Found my brand, and I really like it. I bought the Sorento. It's a nice car. SUV, whatever you want to call it. It's very nice. But it's not my car, and I would prefer to drive that. And so it's been wonderful for this weather because it holds the road. You put it out there, it'll go on it, but it's getting so old driving in it. But anyway, if I could find the cord to my dash cam, I was gonna take you along on one of my drives when I have a good old ground blizzard, and I honestly, I'm sick of it. I can't stand it. But if we don't find our own coverage at work, we have to show up. So I'm assuming a Friday night at 10:30, I'm going to end up staying there. And I mean, the company I work for, it's nice because they let you stay at the houses that they have. Like, I work in a group home. And I don't want that down yet. And that's all fine and good, but it's like you work there. Why do you want to stay there? You know, I don't, but when you don't have any choice in motel rooms, every motel in the town of Madison is over $100 a night, and to me that just isn't worth it. March is my expensive month, and I don't really want to spend my money on a motel room. So now I'm just going to glue the little cup on top of the burlap. I probably got too much going on here all at once, but I don't want this video to run forever, and I'm not having much luck with my glue right now. So I'm just going to try running it out there. I don't want to have to pause this video again. Rob's the one who puts my videos together for me because, well, let's face it, I'm pretty illiterate when it comes to that, so I don't want to have to make too many cuts. I mean, yeah, he's good about it. He's awesome with doing it, but I just don't like to have to ask him to do all that, so. And then I have the little part that was on the bottom of the label here I tore off that says, I know I'm moving this around, I'm sorry. It says Republic of Tea. Which I think is kind of cute, and I didn't want to get rid of that part. So I have now, I'm going to check off some more. I have now got my fragments of food labels. Oh, tea is not really a food. I suppose you could eat it. I have my natural fibers. I have my stamping with white ink. I don't have a die cut that's anything like a coffee cup or a teapot or anything like that. So I have my teacup down. So I guess the only things I have used the colors. So I guess honestly, the only thing I have left to do is the border. And it says with book text or washi tape. And I have a washi tape here. Don't even know where I got it, but it's really cute. It's got a little spoon and fork on it. Well, what I'm figuring I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take the washi tape and go around the page. I was going to do one of these where I really express myself like I do in my collage journals, but this one just did not reach out to me and grab me like, well, like something else might. So I didn't do it this time, but as soon as I get one, I swear I'm just going to be me and do my thing. Someday I'll share my collage journal with you, but they're kind of, I don't know, like right now they're all about self-help and feeling good and all that. I kind of started them when I knew my marriage was going to end and I went through the divorce and all this stuff. What I'm thinking I'm going to have to do with this washi tape is go around the edge of, like so. You see what I mean? I've got to take it like this and then put it around the edge. And I know I'm going to have wrinkles and crinkles and the whole deal, but I'm pretty sure that's about the only way I'm going to get it done. And I really wanted it so the spoons would be on this side since you use spoons with tea and not a fork. There's no way I'm going to be able to run it around because, well, it's washi tape. So anyway, let's get my quote or saying or whatever down. Alright, so terrible anymore. I use a computer at work. Excuse me, I'm getting my black Sharpie. This really is not one of my more creative pages, but like I said, it just didn't speak to me like some do. So I don't even know where I want to put this on here. I am not good at writing. I think we'll just do the word spring over here because that's one of our words. I hate to even do this. I want a scrap piece of paper first. And this Sharpie does not always want to write. Okay, I think we can do that maybe. It's going to look terrible. But it is what it is. And I think I'll write the rest of it down here. I am not good at writing on. And I don't have enough room, so I'm just going to go over my thing like that. And I just wrote spring. Oh, how I wish you would come, because here it doesn't seem like it's ever going to get here. It's technically spring, but the snow, these storms, they keep saying, oh, it's a typical March storm. No, it's not a typical, this is not a typical March. I don't care what they say. And you know what? Now I've just put that down to where I can't use my washi. So I'm gonna go around, because this isn't really gonna work so well anyway. I'm just gonna go around the edge, push it down, and forget putting it right there. This is not speaking to me at all anyway. I think I would have been more inspired if we actually had, you know, I could look outside and I could see that the snow was melting and that the grass was beginning to show through and all that, but it is not. So we're going to call this not my best ever. I've done some better pages in my art journal for Mission Inspiration. This one is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. So it's what I did. I'm going to live with it no matter what. I'm going to say, okay, that's good enough, because otherwise I will drive myself absolutely crazy going, you know, you could have done better. You know, you could have done better. And I probably could have. I really probably could have. But it just wasn't inspiring me with all the snow. So it is what it is. It's what it's going to be. This has got a lot of wrinkles in it, but I am managing to get the spoon around the outside of the front, which is what I wanted to do. I love this tape. It's really cute. I've used it in junk journals before when I wanted that vintage look. I'm sorry, I'm probably off camera. It's not very exciting watching me try to roll tape around, washi tape around the edge of a paper, knowing that it's just going to kind of, oh wait, I'm back. Back to where I started. I obviously cannot cover up my writing, or it's going to be one of those where I covered it up and, well, I know what it says, so it's all okay. To just rip the end off of that a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up. This one I'm really not proud of, but like I said, it's so hard to get inspired for spring when you have what we have right now and are threatened with more of it. I am betting the drifts in my backyard are at least 3 foot tall, so we've had too much snow this year. But anyway, here it is. I used the hibiscus tea label. I didn't have a die cut like a teacup, so I cut this out of scrapbook paper. I used the natural fibers. I wrote my quote sloppily, but I wrote it. I did stamp on the back. I did try to add texture through a doily, or through a stencil. It's a doily stencil, duh. And does anybody even say duh anymore? I feel like an idiot. And I did use washi tape around the edge of it. So that is it right there, people. Thank you so much for joining me. Next project will be something that I am more comfortable with. Anyway, I hope you all have a really great day. Bye-bye.